A Brazilian seer has come out once again to say one or two things, and this time around, the man has a very, very valid point. Yes, because from every single thing that has been happening down to all that we have seen in the past days, it is safe to say that these women are capable of any single thing at all. And according to the Brazilian seer, the last time he reached out to the Oni, maybe he was not specific enough for the Oni to know that Olori Naomi's life can practically be in danger if they keep on insisting on her return back into the palace. And certainly anytime they talk about Oni reconsidering Naomi's return back into the palace, it is always something that Oni is not willing to listen, because he feels Naomi's return back into the palace is just the only thing that he has left to achieve in this life. And we are not saying that Naomi should not return back into the palace. If he would understand the perspective to which people are coming on, then he would know that these women are capable of any single thing. Yes, they are capable. If even if you try to hide the reality, the whole thing, the truth remains that they are capable. And as long as this woman stays in the picture, they can do any single thing they want. Yes, because we have not even seen Oni making efforts to stop them. We have not seen Oni doing things that would tell us that yes, these women have no leverage over Naomi or any single thing. Yes, we have not. So, my people, at the end of this matter, it is beginning to be safe. It is beginning to be safe to say that Olori Naomi ought to be very careful of the things she's getting herself into. If returning back into the palace is beginning to be too risky, she should stay off. Nobody will call her a loser. Yes, nobody will call her even if people call Naomi a loser, it is her life we are talking about. Because according to the Brazilian seer now, the man is being on an opinion that the only should take things slow. That a lot will happen. A lot will happen on Naomi's return back into the palace. And this is a lot he is talking about. Only himself might not like the output of this a lot in question. Yes, only himself might not like the output. It will definitely be something he would not like. So when it turns out to be something he doesn't like, what will now happen? Is that when he will go seeking for solutions, like the last time when he felt every single thing in the palace was affecting Naomi, he went calling their Pastor Jerry Eze and every other person that he felt he could call on the matter. My people, oh, they say it's better to take precaution than to regret at the end of the day. If these women are being so deliberate, if they are being this deliberate on this matter, if they are being so bent on not giving up, then the only should take another strategy. Nobody is saying the only should give up, oh, because these women are supposed to be the ones who will give up for the only to continue, but the only ought to take another strategy in dealing with this woman, because his wives are proven, they are beginning to prove day after day that they are capable of whatsoever is coming. In fact, they are even more than ready for whatsoever it is that would come. And they are more than ready. It should not involve risking Naomi's life. That is a part that this seer is saying. Because this seer is saying that these women visited him and he saw the determination in their eyes, even when he could tell them categorically that you are fighting the wrong person. He saw the determination that was stuck in their eyes and how much they were bent on doing whatsoever it is they feel they have to do. So, my people, categorically speaking, we have come to that point where even if Naomi wakes up today and says that, I don't want to do this thing again, we should all know that Naomi is just being careful. Remember, Naomi has a son. Naomi has a son. Naomi has a son to take care of. That word son, we have to give it emphasis, because Naomi has a son to take care of. And if any single thing happens to Olori Naomi, no matter how it is that that boy is a heir apparent to the throne, life will become miserable for him. Life will become miserable for that young boy. So it is better Naomi takes caution now. It is better Naomi takes caution now and knows what she is up to. It is better Naomi knows exactly what she's doing right now before she even talks of returning back into the palace. Naomi has a son. My people, we hope this thing rings a bell the way it is supposed to ring a bell, because what the Brazilian seer is saying right now, it's just evident that the wives Ooni has are capable of anything. These women are, in fact, they are even ready to do anything. And in the midst of this whole thing, we should all know that the end might be far. The end might not even be close like we ever thought. Yes, the end of this matter might not be close like we ever thought. Because right now, as it is, it has just technically become war. Yes, this thing has become war in the palace. It has become war. Because if this woman keeps on saying we would not stop, then who would stop? My people, who would stop? And as it is right now, the Ooni is far bent on bringing Naomi back into the palace because that's who he wants. And then these women are doing things day after day. They are doing things day after day. We don't know what they want to gain from it though. But at some point, someone has to stop for another to succeed. Someone has to stop for another to succeed. We don't know who is willing to stop. We don't know who is willing to stop. But in the midst of this whole chaos, we hope that it ends well in the palace. Because one of the things the Ooni stepmother once said, those words rings every day. He said that if you are outside and you hear of all the things happening in the palace will be a very bad place for you. It will be a very, very bad place for you. Like, you would not even want to come into the palace. What would you want to come and do there? And gradually, from what the woman said, it is beginning to be that. With all of these things happening in the palace now, who would even want to go to the palace? What do you even want to go and do there? What would you want to go and do in the palace? So my people, in the midst of this whole matter, in the midst of every single thing happening, we should all know that there is a room through which someone has to stop. And definitely, the Ooni owns this palace. Says who that the Ooni will have to stop for his wives to continue. Because this woman's own is bad. The Ooni just started his own of recent and all of them are complaining. This woman own is very, very bad. And they, in fact, they don't even know when to stop. They don't know when to stop. That is the most annoying part of these women's actions. They don't know when to stop. But